From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. It's Tuesday, December 16th. Here's what we're covering on today's episode. Duke Rodriguez, a longtime New Mexico healthcare executive and founder of the state's largest medical cannabis company, has entered the Republican race for New Mexico governor in 2026 after waiting months to see if a stronger GOP candidate would emerge. Concluding that none had, Rodriguez officially launched his campaign, joining a primary field that includes Rio Rancho Mayor Greg Hall and State Senator Steve Lanier. Rodriguez is already positioning himself for the general election, casting himself as a political outsider and non-traditional Republican. His candidacy, however, has raised questions about whether he meets the state's constitutional requirements that all governors live continuously in New Mexico for 5 years. While voting records show that he cast ballots in Arizona in recent general elections, Rodriguez says he has maintained a residence in New Mexico since moving there in 1971 and insists the issue will not disqualify him. Some Republicans are wary of Rodriguez's background in the cannabis industry, but he argues voters' attitudes are changing and points to New Mexico's new semi-open primary, which would allow independent voters to participate in GOP primaries. He says crime, healthcare, education, and protecting public pensions are his top priorities. Rodriguez previously served in state government under former Governor Gary Johnson and has been involved in multiple legal battles, including a recent challenge to Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's veto authority. He plans to self-fund at least $2 million and possibly more of his campaign. The race, though, remains an uphill climb for Republicans in a Democratic-leaning state, where leading Democratic contenders Deb Haaland and Sam Bregman have already raised millions of dollars. A San Miguel County jury has awarded $220 million in damages against Michelin North America, finding that the company was solely responsible for a defective tire that caused a 2021 deadly crash in Texas. The lawsuit alleges that a Michelin LTX M tire on a Ford Expedition suffered catastrophic belt separation, causing the vehicle to cross into oncoming traffic and collide head-on with a pickup truck pulling a trail in rural Gaines County. 3 members of a Texas family were killed in the July 21st, 2021 crash. According to court records, the tire was purchased at a discount tire store in Hobbs and was about 6 years old at the time of the crash. Attorneys for the family argue that the tire is still within Michelin's recommended 10-year service life and should not have failed. The jury agreed, finding Michelin 100% liable, and Discount Tire, which was also named a defendant, was not found at fault. The verdict followed a 2-week trial in the 4th Judicial District Court before Judge Michael Aragon. Family attorney Wesley Ball said Michelin is expected to appeal the decision to the New Mexico Court of Appeals. Blackstone Infrastructure's proposed $11.5 billion acquisition of TXNM Energy Incorporated has cleared a major hurdle in Texas, with the deal appearing on track for approval by state regulators. TXNM announced on Monday that its Texas utility, Texas New Mexico Power, reached a settlement with key stakeholders, including Walmart, customer advocates, industry groups, and the cities that it serves. As a result, regulatory hearings scheduled to begin next week were canceled, and the Public Utility Commission of Texas could approve the sale as early as next month. Texas New Mexico Power serves about 260,000 customers across Texas, while TXNM's New Mexico utility PNM serves more than 550,000 customers and is the state's largest electrical provider. The Texas approval would likely be the first regulatory green light given for the deal, which still requires a review by New Mexico and several federal agencies. Under the settlement, Texas New Mexico Power agreed to provide nearly $46 million in customer rate credits over 4 years, avoid layoffs or wage cuts, and not to pass acquisition-related costs on to customers. Despite the progress, the deal is still facing scrutiny. Several U.S. senators have raised concerns about the acquisition, arguing that it may not serve the public interest. The sale remains pending before multiple regulators, but momentum is building after years of stalled merger attempts for TXNM. And New Mexico wildlife officials helped return a gray wolf to Colorado this week after the animal wandered south of the state line, marking the first use of the multi-state agreement tied to Colorado's wolf reintroduction program. The young male, known as Gray Wolf 2403, traveled from Pickens County, Colorado into New Mexico while dispersing in search of new territory and a mate. New Mexico's Department of Game and Fish captured the wolf and relocated it back to Colorado, releasing it in Grand County. Colorado officials Officials say such dysburial behavior is sign of the reintroduction effort being biologically successful. Wolf 2403 was born in the Copper Creek Pack, the first pack formed by wolves reintroduced to Colorado after voters approved restoration of the species in 2020. The pack faced controversy after livestock attacks, leading to temporary captivity of its members in 2024. The wolf left the pack this fall, and Colorado has agreements with New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah requiring that wolves that leave the state to be returned, partly to protect the recovery of the endangered Mexican gray wolf in the southwestern United States. Some conservation groups are criticizing the move, however, arguing that a single wolf poses no genetic threat and that restricting movement undermines scientific-based conservation. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you here daily, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and allows us to provide you with the news that matters to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast. Today you can expect sunny skies with a high near 63, and as for this evening, mostly clear with a low around 32. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. We'll be back tomorrow.